Now you have all of my Porky's reviews together in one video to have on the TV as you sleep comfortably at night. Don't worry, there's not a pack of teenagers watching you through a hole in the wall. They're like in their 20s, they're not teens, or it's just Bert lurking around in the background. It was fun going back and looking at these films, seeing what worked about them, what doesn't work, and then realizing that the fourth film is so bad, the others are now official masterpieces. Porky's Pimpin' Pee-wee has made Porky's Revenge an 80s classic by comparison. Of all the movies I did Cinema Snob episodes on in 2024, Porky's Pimpin' Pee-wee, yeah, the worst. But Bert seems pretty excited about it, so enjoy. As you can see by my posters in the background, I have started my 1984 in film retrospective. But sadly, 1984 is missing one very important thing: a Porky's movie. So let's double back and look at one of the biggest hits of 1982. That's a lot of words when I simply could have said, I feel like watching Porky's today. Who knew that this little comedy about how losing your virginity in the 50s is hard when you gotta put up with the original manager of the Double Deuce would be one of the biggest flat-out surprise hits of the early 80s, a shock for everyone, including the studio, especially considering how many other studios turned the script down, and when it was made, some had to be shot in Canada for tax benefits, and the movie itself was a big tax shelter. Written and directed by Bob Clark, previously of Black Christmas and Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, it would be the success of this film that helped him make his beloved classic A Christmas Story in 1983. But he wasn't just simply a writer-director for hire who begrudgingly made this film. No, he spent 15 years preparing for it, basing the film off of some of his own experiences in high school and college, what his friend circle was like then, and even some other experiences of people he knew from his youth. I hope that everything about this film is a true story. Now settle in, because it's about goddamn time we watched Porky's! And now time for another kickin' early 80s theme. Now you must release Coyote vs. Acme for this double feature with Porky Pig's movie. Porky is going adult animated. I would absolutely stop at a drink for this place. It looks like the kind of bar you go to when your friends are watching over the campsite and slaughtered by Baghead Jason. Here one of our heroes is Edward Pee Wee Morris, played by Don Monahan, and we hear what else is going on in 1954.
The stars are secure in the firmament, and the rent's paid for the month, so all's right with the world.
Excuse me, this is 54. There is some seriously dark shit going on. And it wouldn't be a Bob Clark movie unless Christmas was involved somehow. It's a relatable film. He has a morning erection. Wait till you jam it in the bathroom door. That's the worst. Frequent Clark cinematographer Reg Morris also worked on the film, as he shot A Christmas Story and Black Christmas as well, but back to Pee-wee keeping tabs on his penis size.
Oh, it is. It's getting shorter. Shit.
That's 'cause you're leaving the window open at night and letting all the cold air in. There's some great period music in it. It doesn't matter what genre the movie is, if you've got something in the mid-50s, it's gonna play shaboom shaboom. This really is a collection of slasher characters. Redneck Jarvis shows up and drops more racial slurs than any character in my review for Black Rage. All the girls are gonna be interested in the collection of high school boys pushing 30 and way larger than the teachers.
Why do they call you Meat?
Because he wanted to impress you. That's actress Kaki Hunter. She was in Roadie with the Meatloaf, who was probably more classy than this gentleman.
Really want to know?
Yes.
Okay, come on, I'll show you.
Wait.
Meet, you're 35. They're gonna fire you from the plant. And in comes Pee-wee. You'll be the Peter McNichol of the movie, who is so desperate to go with them to the party and get laid that he's turning into full Chester from Looney Tunes. They're all the best of friends.
Yeah, we thought you might like to wear one today.
Timmy!
Who doesn't love the old replace the hard-boiled egg with a raw egg trick?
Well, we thought you'd like to wear one today.
Pee-wee is this close to getting torched and turning into a serial killer. The real MVP of the movie, though, the best character in the thing, is Miss Ballbricker, played by the great Nancy Parsons of Motel Hell. She needs to keep order here. Listen to how the coaches talk.
Oh, boy, would I like to get next to that.
Coach, just throwing this out there, but macking on the girls will not help us win the state championship. There's some faces here I know, not necessarily from acting, but this was such a popcorn flick that Billy here is played by Mark Harrier, who went on to direct Popcorn. I wish either of my grandpas were still here. I'd ask them, did you really all just talk about babes 80% of the time and then use slurs the remaining 20%? I'm finding it very hard to show some of the dialogue here. However, sneaking in behind the walls to peep in the showers, timeless.
Damn it, I told you we were gonna miss him. Well, it's okay, Pee-wee. Take it easy. We'll get him next time.
Settle down. We'll see naked Pennywise soon enough. Now they're ready to hit the streets at night, cruising for tail and completely ignoring all of the algebra homework they were given. So they found, I don't know, I'm guessing a prostitute. Her name is Cherry Forever.
Listen, you guys want to get laid? You want to have a debate? Okay, I'm ready.
I'm gonna be the first to stick my dick in a melon. Wait, you guys are in so much trouble. That's Susan Clark. She's married to Alex Karras, who plays the sheriff. A bigger hit for the two of them than the other movie they were in at the time, Nobody's Perfect. The boys did not take any lessons from my tutor. Listen to Crispin Glover. She's just gonna tie you up to a wheel and you're not gonna like it. I sure remember standing around completely naked with my buddies, looking to have sex with a hot woman, and then one of the fellas says, "Guys, I think we might be gay." I smell a prank, though. Look, we told you last time, we don't mind if you dance with our dates. Kidding, they're not actually dead. It's the cast of Hell Night that's having a rougher time. Thankfully, the cops return Pee-wee to his rightful owners.
Got something you guys lost in the Everglades.
Hey, come on up here. We're about to have our midnight snack of a half-pound cheeseburger topped with cigarettes. Though it gets serious when we've got an abusive dad out of prison plot line. Like Stephen King gave the movie notes. It took me a second to realize that's supposed to be Tim's dad, because they look like brothers. But anyway, sex.
Look, man, this is getting serious. I gotta get laid. I got more than a couple of weeks, I start to get jittery.
Pee-wee's gonna end up on some kind of list when he's older. So they got a plan to get into Porky's establishment run by a notorious redneck. We need some words of encouragement.
Well, you know my motto. Give me pussy or give me death.
From the director of Baby Geniuses. Seriously, even a lot of the cast here has bit parts in that film.
Guys, we're in so much trouble. We forgot our textbooks, and even the girls are making fun of us.
All right, a trophy. What for?
For being the biggest dickhead I ever went out with.
Doesn't seem so bad. Did she just insult him by saying he has a big dick? I'm more interested in the coach's love for Kim Cattrall's Miss Honeywell.
Pulling the chain, Fred. The girl is virgin. Yeah. And the Pope's Jewish. So how do I get her up there? Put a rope around her neck? Put handcuffs on her?
No, don't hang Miss Honeywell from a tree. Now time to sneak into a drive-in that's showing Porky's. Wow, this is getting meta. Okay, fellas, we got our fake IDs. We're gonna polish off a whole plate of bonfire wings and get our names on the wall. No, dumbass, we're here to have sex with a cartoon pig. Anyway, seems legit. Head on in, you're clearly old enough. No, seriously, they're all clearly old enough to get in anyway. Not that it matters. They're all gonna die when they find out it's full of vampires. In 1982, we really just wanted to see any movie with girls dancing to some music. The lyrics on the karaoke machine went out, didn't it? This is a very, very dialogue-heavy movie, and there's some good back and forths between the characters sometimes.
Yeah, let's see them both.
It means it'll cost you $2 to see them, stupid.
Oh, shit, I knew that.
And with the audience here, that'll provide the laugh track. But now we can finally meet the title character. Don't let that oinking fool you. This continues to be a movie where the villains are stealing the whole show. Actor Chuck Mitchell, completely towering over them and saying lines with total conviction, is a real pro here.
And if any of you guys get out of line with any of my girls, I personally gonna kick your candied asses all the way back to Angel Beach. You hear me?
I like that he's the bad guy, but is right.
This bullshit is you're a pack of underage kids and I don't want my liquor license revoked.
If these boys are gonna grow up, they need to get their asses kicked by a guy like Porky. The dude would be right at home in any Burt Reynolds film of the 70s. I like that the town basically comes together to prank these poor bastards whenever they want to have sex, like dropping them in the water. Our leads really are the abrasive frat guys we always see getting their asses handed to them in every redneck action movie. It's totally understandable that the sheriff is messing with them too.
Well, I don't know much about the laws in Seward County, but we got laws here about driving with busted headlights.
I don't have a busted headlight.
Don't have busted headlights.
Ooh, they've gotten on Chief Wiggum's bad side. That's nothing the number 4 combo can't solve. 20 hot dogs and a glass of sugar water with brown food coloring. They have more important things to concentrate on now, getting revenge on Porky, despite Porky hardly being the only one in the movie who has humiliated them. And even that's one of the many subplots, which is funny considering the movie is named after the bar. I'm still more interested in Miss Ballbreaker keeping order in the gym, and how Miss Honeywell is maybe a virgin, and there's a mystery as to why she's called Lassie.
You, on the other hand, are gonna be dead if you don't tell me why they call her Lassie.
It's because anyone who tries sleeping with her gets stuck in a well and dies. Let's take a break. They're a long way from winning the big game. One of them gets thrown out on account of graduating a decade ago. Get him to BSU! We've got another convention coming up. Come see us April 26th through the 28th at C2E2 in Chicago, where we'll have more prints, movies, exclusive episodes, and copies of my book, Class of '86. Get your tickets today at c2e2.com and hope to see you there. We're back. Let's see what trouble they're getting into now.
Anybody want to go fly a kite with me tonight?
They really are running out of things to do in 1954. Also, even that gets anti-Semitic quick and a fight breaks out over it. I appreciate that the movie takes time out to turn into school ties for a few minutes. Not even a fight can cure the character's prejudice.
Go on.
Why is the movie getting deep? Now the dialogue is like an after-school special.
Tim's our buddy, but you gotta understand he's got problems. He's not a bad guy.
He's
He's a prick.
You know, if the hero of a school PSA called someone a prick. And then Brian's off to relish in having the best car in a town where everyone already has a sweet-ass car. But back to the real story.
I'm looking for a friend of mine. He's supposed to be there. His name's Michael Hunt.
Is Mike Hunt here?
Too scared to call up Red at the tube bar, huh? It gets sad again when poor Meat might not go to college.
Billy, what's wrong with me? I thought he didn't drink.
Well, he doesn't. But he just found out today he got turned down by Princeton.
That's right, he was turned down as Princeton's assistant janitor. This picks and chooses when they get in trouble. Now the cops are very concerned that Meat has been drinking. As if they've ever been sober this whole film. It's probably not out of the ordinary that one just sleeps in a bowl of chili, because it's a step up from passing out head first in a toilet full of shit. It's when Schwartz gets them out of trouble that they're all cool with each other. Though with his name being Schwartz, I'm officially saying that he's the same character from A Christmas Story. With some of the prejudices and family drama, there I can see how Clark probably took influences from his surroundings as a kid. Like one getting his hatred from his abusive dad beating it into him. Even if the movie itself is like Diner if it was made out of characters who were kindly asked to leave. I almost respect the quick tone shifts it takes, like Tim's face all bruised up because his dad beat the shit out of him, and one wanting to tell the coach about it. But anyway, let's bang on the steps before Ballbreaker catches us.
You're a disgrace. Yeah? Well, I sure be stomping and waddling around like a frigid hippopotamus.
Kim Cattrall also has good delivery in this. I wish she was in it more, although when her name was used in a lot of advertising and then the movie took off, she was worried it was gonna hurt her career. But come on, we all remember this beloved character who finds locker room clothes sexy? Sounds like someone Samantha would dump.
The boys in the locker room always turn me on. Yeah.
Yeah? You're lucky you're extremely hot. If I did something like this, the sheriff would give me a good talking to. Turns out she's called Lassie because, yes, she howls during sex. Again, I hope this is accurate to Bob Clark's school experience, class being interrupted by wolf howling sex, where everyone finds it hilarious. I'll still take this Sex and the City prequel over the Carrie Diaries. Don't you worry about being late, son. We just have the girls standing back there doing stretches. It's what they've been doing all movie. I think they even stay back there at night when everyone goes home. But for everyone who's wondering, where's the part where they watch the girls shower? Here you go. The most famous scene. And it's very randomly in the movie and could have been placed anywhere, honestly. Pee-wee may be mad the fat girl is blocking him, but he's better off than Meat, who got an icicle shoved in his eye by a showering John McClane. I really do respect that you can categorize this movie as influential. It's like if Animal House was Halloween, both critically acclaimed and inspired a lot of its kind after, this is Friday the 13th, not critically acclaimed, but did inspire a hell of a lot after. This spent 8 weeks at #1, topped only by E.T. It spent decades as the top-grossing Canadian movie. Hell, I love that there's a novelization and an Atari game, and all for a movie where he sticks his dick through the shower hole and it's pulled out like Stretch Armstrong. Even this was more graphic when it was shot. There are some funny lines, like seeing the penis and saying, "I know that guy." But more than a yanked dick, Nancy Parsons' raw anger runs away with the scene. What's even funnier is the follow-up scene and how the actors play it when describing the shower incident. Nancy Parsons has a straight face like she's playing a judge in a procedural who wants a penis lineup to identify the culprit. It's one shot, and characters crack up at the unintentional puns, but she doesn't break when hearing lines like this.
Please, Can we call it a tallywhacker?
She was robbed of a Best Supporting Actress nomination.
In the back, the others are going a little bit too over the top, yet all she has to do is sit and do nothing and is hilarious. I also like the randomness of zooming in on Eisenhower when it's done.
Truly, Ike would have been first in line to see this quality cinema.
But anyway, on to Tim's asshole dad picking on the Jewish kid. Which, kid, they still look the same age.
Make sure you're finished. This is the last time you ever lay a hand on me again, you son of a bitch.
Remember 2 minutes ago when there was a dick in the shower?
I can't tell who's a kid, who's a deputy, and who's a dad. Good, he's gone, and now we can continue our dance. Damn it, what's going on now? Are we ever gonna have sex? Look, this guy had to get his ass kicked by Porky's sheriff brother. We had to get the bar back into it somehow. Even the coach wants in on the action. As much as the raunchiness gets compared to Animal House, and this being the Eric Stratton got beaten up moment, you can see American Graffiti influence in it too, with the more serious bits and stuff like stopping the cop car. However, this one straight up points out the questionable ages.
And don't call me coach anymore. Call me Roy. Only 23 for Christ's sake.
You look much older.
That had to be self-aware. Let's take a break. We'll pick up dynamite to decorate Porky's walls with the organs of its customers. No meat, too dark!
If you thought the night before was funny, wait till you see Porky's 2 the next day.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hey, deal with Porky's 2 the next day.
Well, actually, we had something slightly different in mind.
Tuesday on HBO.
We're back, people. Porky's never gonna know what hit him, as in chainsaw to the face. That'll teach you to ID us at the door. What in the world are you doing? Boys, are you unaware of the title for the third movie? It's called Porky's Revenge. He's gonna be really mad at you. What is this, a Western now?
What the hell is that?
I want to see Porky.
Porky is gonna shoot you all. What are you doing? Look at him! He'll throw a bullet into the air and hit it with that bar with enough force as if it came from the gun. I'd say they're even now. They pulled off the door and Porky landed in the water. Okay, fellas, let's call a truce. Oops, never mind. One truck is destroying the entire property. What's gonna become of our heroes? I don't know why, just something about this seems a little bit illegal. You're all gonna spend the night in county lockup, and Porky is going in for questioning too. The regulation here was terrible. How did he build this property that was fragile enough to be destroyed by one vehicle? Hell, I forgot what he even did to piss them off so much. I'm on his side. These kids are dangerous. See? They really did have dynamite! This is going into them damn Duke boys territory.
Hit that big whistle!
Come on, Billy, let's go.
And now it's shot like the climax of Escape from New York if the Duke was driving a pigmobile. The law says if the whole town is on your side for some reason, anything bad you've done is immediately exonerated. Though this seems like a drinking town, I'd think that a lot of them would be angry they destroyed the most popular bar. And now it's Porky and the sheriff that are in trouble with the law. That'll hold up in court. The kids in your town destroyed a nightclub with people inside! Anyway, Porky and Mongo agree to stay off in their own county. Didn't this used to be about characters losing their virginity? I feel like I'm watching the big celebration in all the years the Alpha Betas won the homecoming carnival before the Tri-Lambs.
Relax, they'll tie up the loose ends of Pee-wee's penis literally during the end credits.
Oh, all right. just don't tell me.
We won't tell anybody.
See? Pee-wee gets laid. It's a happy ending, I guess. Never mind, it ends just like Queenie jumping out at the end of Mother's Day. Find out what happens the next day in Porky's 2 the next day. since Porky's success did give Bob Clark enough clout to make a Christmas Story on the grounds that he turned in a quick sequel to this film. I can see why audiences really liked this and why critics didn't. It is unapologetic in its crude dialogue and really goes for it in that regard. And there are standout moments of raunchy comedy that they really could sell it on and are still referenced to this day. However, something like Animal House did work on making its characters lovable as well as crude, with each character being uniquely their own, where here, there's a sameness to a lot of characters, and they really are just straightforward, raunchy, and sleazy, which you could argue makes these characters more realistic to this type of person back then, but it is a movie, and the characters in Animal House are funnier. The Hollywood Knights and Screwballs I like a lot better too, and stuff like American Graffiti and Animal House all balanced their tones, plots, and ensemble characters better, but there's enough funny parts to make it an entertaining time capsule. And given the influence it had after, and the shock of it dominating the box office so hard, it's got my respect. As growing up, there was rarely anything I loved more than renting raunchy comedies with my friends. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and if it's the 60s you're interested in, check out my supersized episode on 1962 in film, and we'll see you next time.
Gee, I've never seen anybody drown in a bowl of chili before.
If you watched the comedy classic Porky's and thought to yourself, I wonder what these characters are up to the next day, well boy do I have a movie for you, Screwballs 2 Loose Screws! And if that's checked out at the video store, I guess there's Porky's 2 the next day. It just made sense to make a sequel. The original was a surprise box office smash that made audiences laugh and critics turn into every "that's not funny" meme. But while Bob Clark spent 15 years developing the first one, here it was a quick obligation film, as even though he had some clout after the first, the studio was still a little leery about making a Christmas Story, but agreed to do it as long as he also did Porky's 2. This could possibly be the It Lives Again of the Porky's movies, but don't make it too quick, because like the first one, it's also got a novelization. Cinematographer Reg Morris also returned, and so did Carl Zitterer, who did music for A Christmas Story as well. Though there were a couple of extra writing credits on this one, along with Clark, the sequel was co-written by Roger Swaybill and Alan Ormsby, who also acted in and co-wrote Bob's Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, as well as Popcorn, directed by Billy. The whole gang is back here! Well, except for Miss Honeywell, and except for Porky. No matter, not like the movie is named after him or his establishment or anything. Porky doesn't need to be in Porky's 2. Really, he and the bar weren't in the first one that much, so it was weird the movie was even named after it to begin with. Plus, he's gonna be cleaning up the wreckage during the events of this one, which picks up a day after the first, despite the characters seeming a couple years older, and they had injuries on their faces in the first that magically disappeared here. It's gonna start with that kickin' theme again, as well as a quiz. I hope you were paying attention last time. When it catches us up on the first, that just makes me think what a week they've had. From peeping in on the girls' showers, to destroying a redneck drinking establishment, to then putting on a Shakespeare production and fighting politicians and Klansmen. School was stressful in the 50s. Also, we need this here because look, there's Porky. He's technically in the movie, as long as you reuse some shots. This is just reminding me that the next day should be about them arrested and awaiting trial. But Pee-wee got laid at the end of it, that's all that matters. Things are different here. Sure, it again opens when he wants to measure his morning wood, but then he's very worried when it's not there this time. Some things are relatable to my generation too. When in a desperate time of need, there's always National Geographic. I like though that the next day shows them heading off to their school, Angel Beach High, meaning all of this was happening on a school night. And the main thing they're talking about is their Shakespeare class, and not that 10 hours ago we destroyed a building. And I think Pee-wee and Wendy are a couple now? But what about the second date of the coach and Miss Honeywell? That's the next day I want to see. But anyway, in an establishing shot from the first, Tommy is still going through punishment from the whole shower thing. Pee-wee is bragging to everyone that he's the new ladies' man of the school. He wants everyone to get laid now.
Right, so anyway, I was wondering if you know of a broad that's a real pushover. Somebody a real idiot could score with.
Hell, man, that's easy. Wendy Williams.
What? How long was the Wendy Williams show on? I guess they're theater kids in this one, hanging out, talking Macbeth.
What roles?
Macbeth?
What's the other role?
Oberon.
Sounds like a fairy to me.
He's not just a fairy. He's the king of the fairies. Hysterical.
Gentlemen, please, you all hang out naked together multiple times. Speaking of, there is one element of revenge they forgot in the first. They got Porky back, but now Pee-wee wants revenge on the guys who did the Cherry Forever prank. When he's not very sad in love. Props for trying to turn this into a romance, even though he's mad about the rumors that she's had sex a lot.
Well, before, I wanted it to be true. And I guess now I don't.
That's good, because it's not true. You don't believe me?
Well, you went on the bus with me, just like that. No questions asked.
Luckily for this movie, I'm watching it right after Something Short of Paradise, which featured a way worse couple. Some of this still doesn't make sense, though.
Pee-wee, don't you know why I did that? I did it because I liked you.
Oh yeah, the eye roll in the first really showed that you super liked Pee-wee. Keiki Hunter actually really is selling this monologue about how she had to develop thick skin from guys in junior high labeling her a tramp because she refused to go skinny dipping. Despite some questionable dialogue, their chemistry really isn't that bad. Again, I repeat, big step up from what I just watched. And yet it's still about a guy trying to arrange a prank gangbang, so he asks a girl named Big Edna, who isn't even that big, and that's not even what makes her mad.
Gangbang! Gangbang!
We'll be right back. I have a feeling that one of the writing notes was just to throw Pee-wee into a bunch of shit.
Hey, maybe remember at the end of American Graffiti, you wish there was more? Well, there is!
More American Graffiti!
And watch out, the old Wolfman gonna be there too.
We're back, and despite being made quick, they still set up some good shots. This looks a little like a postcard. And I've yet to see any extremely clumsy ADR work, so I concede it is better than It Lives Again. Even if I don't know where this is going.
John Henry. Yes, I know. Tell Mrs. Morris I'll take her part.
Please turn into Thunder Warrior. Their revenge is that they want someone to play a librarian named Graveyard Gloria who has sex in cemeteries. Now I can tell there's some children shouldn't play with dead things connections, but only after play rehearsal, of course.
Well, how come he has to wear, like, clothes like this now?
Well, he's pretending to be a girl.
He's praying they pick a Freddie Boom Boom Cannon song to lip sync for his life. The editing here is odd. Oh, we're back to setting up the gangbang prank, then there's play rehearsal, and cutting to Pee-wee at the carnival, then back to play rehearsal where Pee-wee is there too? Are they in multiple places at the same time? I like that it isn't this that got them in trouble with the town, but it's this play that has brought forth Miss Ballbricker and a mob riled up on social media.
We're closing you down, Morrison. On whose authority?
God!
Excellent. I was hoping they'd fight Estes Perkle, where here Bill Wiley plays the evil Reverend Bubba Flavel.
So saith the shepherd!
So saith the flock!
Actually, I think Estes Perkle was a little more subtle, and Perkle showed graphic decapitations. Poor Mr. Carter is back too, having to deal with more stuff Miss Ballbricker is complaining about.
They tried doing some commentary here, like the religious Puritans quoting explicit dialogue from Shakespeare, and the principal returning with quoting graphic and seedy verses from the Bible.
My bowels were moved for him. Song of Solomon, chapter 5.
Why, that's different. Just like when I go to bed with a lady of the night, it's only so I can study the mind of my enemies, and also keep my penis straight.
This scene kinda works. These two actors are shouting and acting their asses off, going back and forth, quoting both sexual lines from Shakespeare and scripture. A few more rewrites and it could almost be an old SNL sketch. It even causes a holy war in the town.
And possibly zombies.
Again, I can see Alan Ormsby's touches in this. Who has time for a holy war, though, when we've got the graveyard prank? Sure, there's still too many plots in this, but there's about 5 less plots than in the first one, so there's that. They even got their dancer to play the librarian. Wait a minute, that's Sissy Cameron. I was praying for a Space Mutiny connection. This is an even more elaborate prank than the Cherry Forever prank. They dug up a grave to put the zombie in, but it's still got some of the same lines.
I'm ready.
Wendy will understand that it's all for comedy. No time to think about that now. It's a little different from the prank in the first. This one comes with a yes nudity clause. My God, possessed librarian, you're hot. She's giving him the lap dance from Showgirls. I wish the prank was that when she pretends to be dead, her husband Reb Brown comes in to kick their ass. You boys are in so much trouble.
But I didn't do anything, Tommy! Law doesn't look at it that way, Pee-wee. If a woman dies while you're buffing her, you're considered an accomplice.
This prank is basically the movie Very Bad Things. If this were to really happen, this in and of itself could have been a plot of Porky's 2. Just saying, if the main plot was they accidentally kill a horny librarian and then zombies chase them, I have the feeling that this too would have been in the top 5 box office of the year. And what a prank! They realized the zombie was fake, but still thought the girl was really dead, only so there could be a double prank where rednecks chase Pee-wee away with a shotgun. And it gives us a reason to do the naked Pee-wee runs past the cops again. They have more serious stuff to attend to, and how. No joke, their play has pissed off the Klan because the Native American is playing Romeo.
Well, they don't like John Henry playing Romeo to Wendy's Juliet.
Your play has gone woke and must go broke. So kind of like how the first one dealt with anti-Semitism, and how that hatred was beaten into the kid's head by his abusive father, this one shows the characters fighting racism because of the casting of their play.
That young man is not of the American persuasion.
My bounties is
Truly the Captain Kirk and Uhura kiss of its time. There's some things about it that are better, like focusing more on a main character like Pee-wee, sorta. But when there were already too many characters who were mostly bland in the first anyway, here, a lot of the returning cast all have very non-memorable lines that really could have been said by any of them. None of them leave a mark here at all. Miss Ballbricker also had better material to work with before. In the first, her deadpan was great. Here they just turn her into a religious zealot shouting on the toilet when they put a snake in the pipes. Wait a minute, snake in the pipes? Where's the snake gonna go? Oh, wait a minute. Oh boy, the old snake in the toilet trick, where when she starts screaming, they can reference the Lassie bit.
Can't be, I fired them.
Can we have one gym class not interrupted by shenanigans? Let's take another break. Tomorrow we're gonna set a Wolverine loose in the chess club.
In the tradition of Revenge of the Gladiators.
Well, I'm glad to see you back, boys.
Porky's Revenge. The pig strikes back.
Now that the snake up the toilet gag is done, back to the play being shut down by racist plot. What?
As much as I don't care for what they do with Nancy Parsons in this, they do grow Mr. Carter as a character who is kind of a hero here, who tells them that a hearing has shut down their production, but that there's nothing stopping them from still rehearsing on their own, and he wants them to continue. And continue they will. That is, when they get the Reverend back, when they find out the religious folks in town watch porn in their basements. They even have the commissioner involved to take this right to the school board. There will be snakes under every chair. This is my favorite episode of It's Always Sunny at Angel High. But I guess the commissioner has okayed their show, possibly.
Now you kids go put on a hell of a play.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Right, because when I watched the other, I was like, oh yeah, they're totally into Shakespeare. However, the commissioner is a bastard who has other ideas when this may ruin his chances for re-election. I wonder what his other plan could be.
Got the Klan.
This movie keeps escalating very quickly. Seriously, this is turning into not a revenge comedy, but a revenge action movie.
They tried to shave his head. The white man's little joke.
I was joking earlier, but you could tack the last act of Thunder Warrior on here, where he mows down the town, and it would make sense and be kinda great. Also, this is quite the budget for the school play they're putting on. Like, Christ, I half expect Max Fisher from Rushmore to be directing this. You can also tell that Bob Clark was making A Christmas Story at the same time as this, because when the sword breaks, I think they replace it with the leg lamp. Careful, boys, the box says these props are for a Gile. Oh man, I hope the corrupt politicians in Reverend don't mess up Pee-wee doing the same one-man show as the dude's landlord. What even is this movie? Yes, the police are shutting this joint down. Is it because of all the sex happening on school grounds? No, they just don't like Shakespeare. It is weird watching Porky's 2 the next day and being like, I think you could still make this today.
You care nothing about matters of the spirit. You just want to control other people's lives, you fascist!
Only there'd be less snakes in the toilet, and thus not as good. This guy is basically filling the redneck villain role so much, they should have just had it be Porky trying to shut the play down. However, even Miss Ballbricker thinks things have gone too far once the Klan gets involved. What did you think was gonna happen? When it gets to, guys, what are we gonna do? Let's put our heads together and figure this out. I keep waiting for the movie to actually turn into a musical. It shouldn't be too hard to take down the commissioner who thinks he's going on a date with Wendy.
But Commissioner, she is only 17 years old.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'll only put a half a notch in my gun.
I mean, I guess it's okay. The commissioner is only a year or two older than the high school boys. They got better things to do, like exposing this stag film ring.
This director must be the Cecil B. DeMille of pussy film.
I want that said about me when I win the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Oscars. Damn it, how am I supposed to pleasure myself if y'all be hooting and hollering and riffing? And if secretly recording this doesn't work, we're gonna put jalapenos in the cream corn. Oh, this is gonna be great. Let's take another break. Oh yeah, I'm sure this movie's gonna get classy. If you want to see reviews like this and other Snob episodes, but way in advance, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/thecinemasnob, where you can also take part in episode polls, see installments of the upcoming 1984 in film, and check out our store section, where you can get a digital download of the uncut version of the Cinema Snob's Porky's review. All that and more at patreon.com/thecinemasnob. Now that we're back, count me out of this slumber party. Now it's like I'm watching the high school put on a production of Blazing Saddles. This movie is less Black Klansman and more like the opening scene of Bad Boys 2, only if they trapped them in the school where they are gonna get their asses handed to them. Oh, they will be embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
Gee, guys, we're all really stupid, too. How did we not hear a single sound from this gym being full of people? They're all front row center to watch Schwartz perform a circumcision?
Zemmel. And a Zemmel is used by a Moyle to perform the...
Don't you worry, it's all got the approval of the director. Clark's cameo is as one of the Klansmen. While I hope that Schwartz is this Schwartz, I don't know if I want this Bob Clark to be the same character from A Christmas Story.
As for the other piece of revenge...
Giddy up! Giddy up!
Whoa, what an ass!
I mean, all she really needs to do is just announce she's 17, which makes him start squirming like, I didn't know! But I'm more interested in the part where they're sending the naked Klansmen running through the Reverend's speech and playing their stag film audio. Yeah, how dare you sit around and watch your porno. Instead, you should be peeping in on the showers like a normal person. I'll say this about the movie. The plot lines aren't as randomly stitched together. It is technically a little more focused, even if some elements are forgotten about. And the plot line itself, on its bare bones, is like the plot of a 50s teen movie, a big let's put on a show plot line, where they then have to deal with stuffy old squares in the town, but making it an R-rated gross-out version of it with nudity and vomit gags. The big problem, though, is that there really aren't any big laughs in it. The first was overall funnier and had more notable scenes that we still remember. There really isn't a single memorable gag or scene in this. Although it is a little more ambitious with its themes than your typical obligation sequel, I'll give it that. That's the end, by the way. The commissioner resigns, the Reverend is taken down. Oh, what? Now this town cares about obscenity charges. Plus, the play is back on. Congratulations, guy we just met in this film. So the movie did have pretty bad reviews, but so did the original, even with this one having more penises. 1982's Porky's really was a lightning in a bottle film that came in at the right place at the right time to be one of the top grossing movies of that year. This one, in an attempt to repeat that, didn't make nearly that amount at the box office, but with its low budget, it was still a minor hit, certainly making its money back. Enough for Porky to finally come back and get his revenge in the 1985 sequel, literally titled Porky's Revenge. We'll be getting to that film soon enough, but for more flashbacks to the past, be sure to check out my complete 1962 in film retrospective, and we'll see you next time.
Boogie, boogie, boogie! Boogie, boogie, boogie! Boogie, 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 boogie!
You heard that title right. After being absent from the second film, Porky is back and is getting revenge. Why wasn't that the plot of part 2? Porky's Revenge is honestly my first memory of the Porky's movies, since of the 3 films, it was this box cover that stuck out the most to me in the video store. I was young enough to be like, there's a Porky Pig movie and he's striking back? We have to rent it. It's all new. That's a tagline that still works for a movie from 1985. While the second movie didn't bring in quite as much box office as the first, it did still make money for the studio, who offered writer-director Bob Clark to make the third. He was interested, but was busy making Rhinestone at the time, and simply just wanted some time to finish that film and prepare a story for Porky's 3. I guess the studio was antsy, so they had a script written without his knowledge, causing Clark to completely distance himself from it. They didn't even give it a proper novelization like the first 2 had. Instead, they got Ziggy Steinberg to write the script. We're in safe hands. He wrote The Jerk too. And he's written for the David Steinberg Show as well. So he does come with twists. He actually is in no relation to David Steinberg. Directing duties went to James Comack, a producer and director on Welcome Back, Kotter and Chico and the Man, and this would be his only theatrical film as a director. As long as you keep it American like the Canadian originals, this is gonna be as patriotic as putting your flagpole in a shower hole. This is an important milestone for the gang. Look, they're finally graduating high school. It's good they got their degree before turning 40. The gang is all here. Meet Wendy, Pee-wee, and the rest that are in all 3 but leave no impression. As long as Nancy Parsons and Chuck Mitchell are back, that's all I'm asking for. Though with Clark not involved, it does have a different cinematographer and composer too. Musician Dave Edmunds
did the music for the movie, with cinematography by, hang on, the hell kind of graduation is this? Is this in the Patch Adams universe? Oh, okay, it's another dream sequence where he got his morning wood back. But there being nudity at the graduation wouldn't have surprised me if it wasn't a dream sequence. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, cinematography by Robert Jessup. And given that he worked on Smokey and the Bandit, Race with the Devil, The Dukes of Hazzard, and Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders 2, I can see why they'd want him for this. But now on to everyone's favorite thing in the world. Ugh, someone describing their dreams.
So then she takes out this gazumbi.
Gazumbi? What's that?
You know, num-nums, choo-choos, tits.
So are he and Wendy still together? There's more important things. They found a stag film.
Well, we've got something you'll all want to see. A stag film.
A real stag film?
The second movie had you busting a stag film ring. You didn't just steal theirs? Brilliant plan, boys. Watch the stag film on school grounds. Why not? Ball breakers just right outside. Not like they'll get in trouble regardless.
They're sick. They're perverted. They're retarded.
Okay, we'll put that right on their diploma. I just want to see the story of how this stag film ends up at the party house from Friday the 13th, the final chapter. This scene is almost clever, where it feels like they're describing their own movie.
He means it's true, there is some nudity.
Some nudity.
But it's art.
It's filth.
That's your characterization.
They all had boners.
Pauline Kael is pissed. Their punishment is that they're sent back to class immediately without stopping for a drink at the water fountain first. Then we get to, does this have a plot yet? Is it making a bet with the cheerleaders?
Why don't you throw a victory party after the game?
Okay, if you win, you got it.
And we're not talking about a milk and cookies party. We want an orgy.
Excellent. It's the origin for how Debbie Does Dallas came to be. At least these actors look more like teenagers than the ones from that film. These students have a very confusing high school career. In the second, they were theater kids putting on a Shakespeare production. But now they're tired of that, so they're the basketball team now. That only makes sense if Zac Efron shows up and starts singing. Go figure, Pee-wee isn't a great basketball player. Damn, he passed out before rose petals flew out her blouse. It's getting supernatural as the girl was the same one Pee-wee was seeing in his dreams. Forget that weirdness. The coach has gambling debts and owes Porky money.
I'll talk to Porky. I can get the rest of the money in about a month or so.
Son, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. How could he betray the team like this?
You heard it all, huh?
I am never letting you scrub my back ever again. Meanwhile, in the house party for me Ga featuring that combo that really swings. I mean, they are waiting for an orgy to happen. Listen to how excited they are.
Well, ladies, let's go. Let's orgy!
Spoken like they don't even know the meaning of the word and are just gonna play naked heads up 7-Up. Gee, is this gonna turn out to be a prank, like the Cherry Forever prank, or the one involving zombies? How many times will these idiots fall for a sex prank? Fool me 3 times and I'll get blue balls and have to top myself off again. I'm honestly surprised the gag isn't that they're releasing live piranha in the pool. That would have been a lot funnier. The gag is that the girls only pretend to take their tops off, while the guys are actually naked. Then they steal their clothes. Good one. They've never had a problem being naked in public before, and they're caught by the parents. Seriously, this didn't seem to ruin their night at all.
It's a really good idea.
I liked it. I don't care.
Oh, I'm glad you guys like it. You love running around naked with your friends?
I like that small talk, like, gave me something to do. At least someone shows up to remember the title.
Come on, drive.
Where we going?
Porky's.
Well, it is like the first one in that regard, where you frequently ask yourself, isn't this supposed to be about Porky's? Let's take a break. Like the plot, they're probably gonna get a little lost.
The hazard will continue.
We're back, as this is a good enough shot to insert some ADR describing who Porky is and what happened in the first one. It's still an ADHD movie, so let's quickly leave Meat on the side of the road with a supposed ugly girl, where Meat still seems fine with it.
Why do they call you Meat?
Why do they call you Blossom?
Okay, what is this, Moonraker now? Finally, the gentle giant found his girl with braces. They figured out that Porky runs a riverboat casino after his place was destroyed, where they are gonna take him down because the coach is a gambler who owes Porky money. That seems like it's on the coach. Why does Porky always have to be punished for shit someone else starts? He's just minding his own business, running his boat and kicking out the drunkards.
I almost forgot what a mean son of a bitch he is.
Oh, is he a mean son of a bitch? Didn't you leave your friend with a girl because you thought she was ugly? There's a twist with that, too.
Hi, Daddy!
Hi, baby.
They're gonna destroy Porky's business and bang his daughter. They try using Meat and Blossom as a distraction to film illegal activity at the place, so that works well. Just run, you'll be fine. Yeah, shoot him, Porky. Jesus, wow, would anyone really be that sad if the movie just ended right here, right now? Instead, they agree to throw the state championship so Porky can bet against them, and that will get the coach off the hook. Damn, 30 minutes in and everything really does seem resolved. This makes them very sad and depressed, like I give a shit. You're all the definition of peaked in high school. They do have a plan, though.
If we hold a press conference and announce that certain unscrupulous elements wanted us to throw that game, nobody will be able to touch us.
Oh yeah, criminals that you owe money to love it when you go on TV and complain about them. We need to pad this out a little bit so Meat isn't feeling well when dissecting a frog. Oh, who hasn't passed out in the middle of class at Angel Beach High?
You expect me to believe that the captain of the basketball team would faint at the sight of a mere frog?
The hell? Why is this the most that any student has been yelled at in this? Now it's a plot that's in every single TV series set in high school. He has to pass his biology class or he doesn't get to play basketball. Though the school chaplain is now my favorite new character.
And I'm backing her up on that 100%! Get the hell out of here!
Dude is going 200% at making the most of his screen time. This can help their brilliant scheme. I take it it's a scheme. No one leans on top of each other peeking around the corner unless it's a scheme. Studying is for losers. Best steal the answers to the test. I don't know which one it is. I just know that one of these guys has to be Zach Morris's father. For some reason, the keys to the teacher's apartment are there. It's not breaking and entering if we have the keys. Guys, do you all have to go in? What if she comes back? You're not all gonna fit in the closet. That's why Jeffrey Beaumont didn't bring a team with him. This is like 3 episodes of a show stuck together if the gang from Bayside had to see what kinky sex the teachers are into.
And you can be the impotent alcoholic monk that just escaped from the monastery.
Goody, that's my favorite!
Can we go back to Kim Cattrall howling like a dog, please? Whatever, I guess the boys like it. And how the hell did he get into that ice cabinet? This movie is also failing at physics class. This goes on so long and it doesn't escalate. They just leave and Pee-wee stays to peep in for a second. That's it. Some plots I just forgot about, like the principal's still wanting to see the stag film so he can know if it's art or not. But if they can record the teachers having sex, maybe he can pass biology.
We might be able to get some photographs of them. Perfect blackmail material.
Yeah, secretly recording them banging will get them in trouble and not you. I've seen getting it on. You'll be put on probation, mister. Luckily, Pee-wee's grandmother lives right next door, so they can use her window to spy on the teacher. This is just like Goodfellas. If they visited Tommy's mom while plotting to embarrass Frank Vincent with a sex tape. Let me borrow this knife, Ma. We'll have to cut the film later. Let's take another break. I have the sudden urge to watch Body Double instead.
You can't believe everything you see. Brian De Palma's Body Double. This week on the Saturday Night Movie.
We're back, and remember, we can't create Debbie Does Dallas without a box cover. Anyway, one is buried in the sand now, and where's Miss Ballbreaker?
Look, Beulah Ballbreaker. It's a debating team, arts and crafts and wrestling.
It's just a picture of her, yet she's still the funniest one in the scene. The movie needs more Cakey Hunter too. She is good in these, and plus this would be her last theatrical film before her retirement from acting. I'm guessing she and Pee-wee aren't together anymore. He keeps running into his literal dream girl, Inga, who already wants to meet him in a hotel room. What part of you thinks there isn't a catch? The catch being that they're trying to set Ballbreaker up with her lost love, only the wrong person got the love letter, and it was Pee-wee. He isn't hooking up with the Swedish chick at all. It's Ballbreaker! Ho ho ho! I'm continuing not to be shocked that a lot of sitcom people made this. Maybe we should help him out. No, are you kidding? There's nothing new at the drive-in. We've already seen Wild Guitar 20 times. There's another twist. That's not Pee-wee, it's Tommy, who dressed like him because he thought Inga would be in there. Serves you right, ha 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 ha. Porky is so not the worst person in this universe. Back to the basketball plot. Hey guys, remember when we tricked Klansmen into coming in here and tried castrating one of them? Of course I do. It was yesterday. I would actually love that if all three movies were in the same week. Good news, she got Meat's aced test, but still wants to make sure he never plays.
Why isn't Porky's Revenge all about Porky's Revenge?
Oh, there he is. Nice of him to make an appearance. Right, he's betting on the game, and they're gonna screw him for no reason. And the biology teacher still won't let Meat play. How are they gonna win now? I don't care. What I wouldn't kill for New Bomb Turk to show up and liven up this film by farting along to Volare. And the jig is up. They found the blackmail pictures. Thank God. I was worried this plot diversion would be pointless, but she does let him play now. They're sure to win. No wonder they needed Meat in the game. It's no rules basketball. Punch them in the face, kick their ass. This feels like I'm watching the end of a different movie. Calm down, Hoosiers. This isn't suspenseful. Good thing we worked so hard to bring Meat back into the game. That way Pee-wee can be the true hero. Still, they had to double-cross Porky.
They double-crossed me again. Now someone's gonna pay for this shit.
We're an hour and 5 minutes in, and it's finally about Porky getting revenge. I'm still rooting for Porky. He finds out Meat hooked up with his daughter, and now he wants the two to marry. Okay. I'm actually into this plot as well, where they find that Ballbreaker is sad that she didn't meet her long-lost love, so they plan to use their powers for good and actually find the man for her. I'm assuming they just looked up his address. I honestly hope this works out. It even gets better shot.
Love me tender.
Well, I'll give it this. Ballbreaker does have the best arc in the whole series, which makes me glad. Nancy Parsons is still good here, even if she doesn't have a lot of scenes. See? All she needed to do was get laid. Now she's fine with dirty movies on school grounds. They devote more time to the Stag film, doubling as a review for the movie.
I sat through every disgusting frame of this film. Twice.
I'm not watching Porky's Revenge twice.
This is a fine time to take another break. The movie's about prom now. But I got another convention announcement. Come see me at Planet Funk Con on June 28th through the 30th in Davenport, Iowa, where you can get autographed copies of my book, Class of '86, movies, and more. Get your tickets at planetfunkcon.com. Now that we're back...
I win a state championships, I bring the car here, I put on this monkey suit, and now I gotta walk there. It's really garbage, man.
The easy way. I'll believe Porky's getting revenge when I see it.
I want you to tell those double-crossing, rat-faced basketball pricks The Porky finally got his revenge.
Oh, okay, he said it, so I believe it's like the title. Why wasn't the whole movie about this? They could cut so much out of it and focus on this plot of Porky getting his revenge by kidnapping Meat and forcing him to marry his daughter on board his riverboat casino. In fact, Porky is kind of a genius. He kidnapped Meat on an occasion where he'd already be wearing a tuxedo. Hell, I want to attend this wedding, not stop it.
Get your ass back in your cab, man. Lay off.
This is the best episode of Cops. The music is getting better too. It ran out of sitcoms to replicate, so now it's an 80s procedural. I could still use more scenes with these two.
And I'm glad to see my son-in-law is a moxie guy. Because that's exactly what I want for my grandson.
What grandson?
Can we have an in-laws sitcom about Meat and Porky? You can call it Hold the Coleslaw. This movie really is all about the shenanigans, with zero dramatic subplots, which was the intention of the movie's director, as he stated he was disappointed in the second movie, criticizing it for containing a message, stating that the first film was pure and simple about teenage sex, not about humanity. On the one hand, I get it if you just want to keep the third one strictly about comedy. But plots about bigotry were in the first film too. It wasn't that deep about it, but it was there, although it wasn't really seamless with the rest of it, so there was a lot of tonal whiplash. Because of that, I will say that the third is the most consistent with its tone, even if it's mostly terrible. But I like the last act where it turns into a high school Burt Reynolds movie with a lot of silliness, like Wendy being the distraction by making the bridge worker think she's trying to commit suicide. Oh no, she's dead! I'm curious where this goes, just to see if they have the budget for it. They closed the bridge, so the riverboat will crash right into it. Are they gonna show it? Not bad, they really did pull off that effect. Our heroes and the effects are still out to destroy Porky's life. The movie brought in the least amount of money of the three, although still kept its budget small enough to turn in a profit. Now the boys have enough destruction credits needed to graduate, but they still need some nudity credits, where they convince Pee-wee they're all gonna flash on stage. Wait, the hell? It's all playing out just like his dream at the beginning of the film. Can he predict the future? No, we can't end without a rollicking 80s shenanigans comedy song. Wake up in the morning and another night's gone. You tumble out of bed and turn the rain. It may not be the King Frat theme, but it'll do. Porky's Revenge was stupid. But I guess it's serviceable enough to end the trilogy. Most of these movies really are the types that are fun to watch with a group of friends, but watching them by yourself and taking notes is just depressing. Did I say it was the end of the series? Well, yes, no, sorta, because like horror franchises, we still can't let a zany 80s series like this not have some kind of 2000s reboot. Wait, there was a fourth Porky's film? What? What in God's name is Porky's Pimpin' Pee-wee? It's supposedly a fourth Porky's film? There is a Porky, there is a Pee-wee, there's Meat, there's Tommy. Is it a remake? It can't be a sequel, it's in the present. Or is it a sequel and they just don't care? Well, they care about rights, I guess. Yes, this is an ashcan copy film. A 78-minute movie that went directly to on-demand in 2009, and it's got a really complicated history. The rights to Porky's were then owned by a company named Lontano Investments, who struck a deal with something called Mola Entertainment for them to make a new Porky's film, and even sequels too, if need be. They were supposed to make a movie within 5 years of the deal, but that time frame kept getting extended until eventually they were officially running out of time with the rights. They couldn't raise the original $10 million budget they wanted, so Mola opted for this quick $1 million movie to make before the deadline. Other sources say the budget might have been even lower at around $500,000. The script was written in 10 days and was heavily scaled back to remove other Porky's characters like Wendy and Brian. Even the director said that the sole intent was for it to be made and buried, as Brian Trenchard Smith of Turkey Shoot, Dead End Drive-In, and later Leprechaun in Space was brought in 4 weeks before shooting, and overall it was shot in 15 days. I didn't even know this movie existed until a couple of years ago. Let's find out why. Cue the 2000s credits! Am I having a seizure or am I being brainwashed into a cult? It looks like a porn parody of the first. Why is the whole moving? I can't even show the opening credits, except for when Pee-wee magically teleports into the shower, and it looks like the shower orgy from Debbie Does Dallas, only with just some playful petting. Of course it's gonna be a dream, and they don't have Miss Ballbricker in this, so it's Pee-wee's mom who stops all this tomfoolery, and here she's played by Colleen Camp. Major Smokey and the Bandit 3 vibes in this. Now he's refreshed and hooks up with the boys, Meat and Tommy. They're all home from college and very frustrated.
Besides, there's no girls anywhere. Where the hell is everybody?
There's some girls behind you. Sometimes the movie is just called Pimpin' Pee-wee. In early stages, it was called Porky's The College Years. So did they wait 50 years between graduating high school and going to college? That's ironic, since they look more like high schoolers here than in the others, and they're in college. We meet more members of Pee-wee's family, like Uncle Howard. Hello, Barry Livingston? Ernie Douglas from My Three Sons? Fred McMurray would never tolerate these shenanigans, like when Pee-wee gets paid to watch the place.
That's for watching my place. I wanted you to have it in advance.
So does he call the escort service now or wait until later? Here Pee-wee is played by Adam Wiley, who is a cross between Pee-wee and his nervous wreck character Brad Langford from Gilmore Girls. They desperately want to get laid, and I'll give it this, they are believable as these characters. Like when he says lines like this, I believe he's Pee-wee from Porky's.
Give me pussy or give me death.
What are we doing, the credits again? Plus, as soon as I heard Russ Hunt talk, I knew he was Meat. I guess Tommy's still the forgettable one. I've been watching nothing but Porky's movies the last month, and I still had to look it up to remind myself who Tommy was. This one goes way, way, way more in on the nudity. I could at least show some parts of Porky's establishment in the others. Here, I can show the bartender, whose name is Lloyd the Bartender. I knew it was gonna get supernatural. And this one has another story about Porky and his daughter.
Hey, baby, how's school?
Getting A's.
That's great.
So either Porky has 2 daughters, or the movie is just forgetting that his daughter Blossom even exists. He ain't got time to go over Shelley's plans for his business.
I wrote you up a new business plan. Take a look.
Oh, Shelley, I'm swamped here.
No one else has looked at the script. Why start now? I have to cut around this movie more than I did in Strokemon. Here he has a row of girls line up, and they're called the Porkettes. Oh yeah, the sign of the best brothel in town. Bring out the Porkettes. Really, they're just here for the banter.
Dad's cleaning lady? She got a thing for me.
Dude, she's like 60.
She's 58, tight as a drum, and howls like a banshee. Don't worry about me, I'm good.
Alright, don't go telling no jokes around here. I know you. It's a Seinfeld reunion. Adam Wiley was the bratty kid in the parking garage, and Vic Polizzo shot Jerry in a dream scene. They can compare dream sequences. It is kinda remake territory. They think they're gonna get laid at Porky's, but Porky is tricking them. In this case, the girls only have sex with each other and not Pee-wee. Classic. And they're doing the whole one will end up with Porky's daughter thing, only this time it's Tommy and Shelly. Also, Meat's penis is too big for one of them to have sex with, so he gets head instead. Guess they didn't have the budget to dump them in water. Here it's just they want to have sex, they don't, then they're chased out after a vomit scene, and the whole sequence is like 20 minutes long, where even Porky seems frustrated.
He made me barf. Porky, he's not human. It's huge. It's...
All right.
The man's gonna get his revenge just for being annoyed to death. Let's take a break. The vomit joke is still going on. They're gonna be doing this for a while.
Sometimes Rory's love life is more than a mom can take. Gilmore Girls.
We're back, and is that Porky's nightclub? We still look like we're in Stars Hollow, and he turned Lorelei's house into a whorehouse. But I guess we're at the end of the first movie now.
Damn, look at Pee-wee's uncle's crib.
The hell? So now the movie is picking up in Porky's 2 the next day? Hey guys, what do you say we do Romeo and Juliet again so we can fight the Klan? Our high school career was really random and weird. His uncle's house is gonna be the perfect place for a party.
Dude, giving birth in there?
Shit jokes and nudity. Skinamax is back, baby. With also feeling like a horny Saturday morning sitcom.
These are my uncle's antiques. They're his most prized possessions.
Meet you are a damn gazelle. Go get me a touchdown.
No, stop!
And you're gonna break Screech's mom's Elvis statue. What are you doing? I believe I know where this is going. They're gonna turn his uncle's house into Party Central to compete with Porky's, and they'll listen to Shelly's business plans more than Porky did. So the movie is Porky's with a little risky business and night shift. They're getting all the disgruntled girls at Porky's to join in. Is it party time? I think it is. Written in birthday party at putt-putt golf font. Who wouldn't want to come here instead? Look what's happening at Porky's.
Yep, Tina, I need you down the hall.
But we haven't even started yet.
Do I shock my own balls, or do I listen to this 2000s as hell montage?
So your real life searches turning empty, worthless.
Hook up the cables. I'm only interested in this party if Vernon Wells and Michael Berryman show up. At least then the dialogue will be better.
Look, you gotta make like Eskimo Snatch and chill.
Classic line from that movie, Full Metal Douchebag. It's a whole universe designed to embarrass the hell out of them. Like when one says she's gonna give him head, and no joke, she sticks a pool hose on his dick instead that has to be yanked off, literally. He didn't really even do anything to deserve that. Angel Beach just likes torturing this man. Watching this on Tubi, I prefer the ads, which are like a subplot, where neighbor Larry Bird has had enough of these idiots. This movie can't even have dialogue without a stupid sound effect or a sight gag, like when it keeps cutting to Meat's giant prop penis in his pants. Or this scene where I guess Pee-wee is gonna have a love interest, and the action of the extras is just run around randomly, and if there's a tree without toilet paper, fix that immediately. He likes her enough to show her his uncle's antiques room that's off limits.
We could do a lot more in here than dust.
How is the universe gonna stop him from getting laid now?
Oh no! Oh my god! Not the vases!
Just blame it on Bronson Pinchot. Oh, and you thought it was a coincidence that the bartender was named Lloyd the Bartender? Look at the next shot. The opening music from The Shining. Sure, no reason whatsoever. They're gonna be in so much trouble. Everything is broken. What did you think was gonna happen? That sets up the plot for them raising money to replace the antiques. Why didn't the producers think of this to raise more money from the budget? Start their own whorehouse! They're also trying to replace an antique. And Porky keeps getting mad that they're taking the day off.
You can't just come and go as you want. I'm trying to run a business here.
Oh, no shit. And you know damn well that I'm the one who's bringing in all that business.
Okay, but, I am the boss. You have to tell me if you're not coming in. I was right. With her expertise, she pitches her plan of supplying the girls and turning it into a party house where you have to pay to get in. As if anyone wouldn't be like, oh, this is to help this idiot replace antiques that they broke from them being stupid? Yeah, that's a whole lot of not my problem. My God, there's a lot of padding here. I got the idea. They're turning it into a sex house. I don't need the follow-up scene where she's giving them a PowerPoint presentation on their money-making plan.
Isn't that terribly illegal?
Sure it is.
Good point. Illegal activities never stopped us before. You've convinced us with your presentation where you just wrote boobs on some paper. Now I know why the title is sometimes shortened to Pimpin' Pee-wee, since that suggests it's Pee-wee who is Pimpin', but Porky's Pimpin' Pee-wee makes it sound like Porky is making Pee-wee work the streets. That would make for a far more interesting movie. I don't even get this. Are they hiring actors and models? Are they just working on commission? The money it would take to throw this party they could easily use to just replace the antiques. I mean, it seriously feels like the characters are already rich. I can tell this is a drunken party movie of the 2000s, where the only thing that's guaranteed is one of the characters will be wearing a tuxedo shirt. Are we at the Porky's revenge part of the story? They've taken all his girls, including famous porn star Tina Toppers. I'm gonna need another break. Forget the booze. I need coffee to get through the rest of this. Come see me at Planet Funk Con on June 28th through the 30th in Davenport, Iowa, where you can get autographed copies of my book, Class of '86, movies, and more. Get your tickets at planetfunkcon.com. We're back, and at least we're getting some answers here.
So, why do they call you Pee-wee?
I'm all ears.
Is it because you're short?
Yeah, it's, something like that.
Also, he still thinks that bullies put his bike in the Alamo. There's a romance with Meat and Tina Toppers, I suppose. I don't know. He still walks into a random room and exposes his 20-inch dick, which scares them away. So there's the romance of Pee-wee and Vanessa we can root for instead.
It's all good. We almost got enough bread to pay for all the antiques, and Vanessa totally wants you to fart on her belly button.
I'm not sure this movie knows what sex is. Even that ends with Pee-wee getting pissed and wanting to barge into the room where the girls are having sex, in which they kick his ass again. How is this helping our heroes? The morning after the party, it looks like they've caused even more destruction. Yeah, that's nice we raised money, but what about all the new stuff we broke? Guess we'll do more parties.
The phone's been ringing like crazy.
Wait a minute, you guys are saying we have to do this again?
Pee-wee is like me. He also really wants this movie to end. What's it even matter if Vanessa and Pee-wee like each other? He was dating Wendy in the second one, and that was completely forgotten about in the third. I don't know what to say about this. This movie looks like an opening scene of a fake 2000s remake of Sorority House Massacre. When are they gonna start getting killed? That's better than the random shots where they're watching weirdos pouring marinara sauce on the girls. There is a predicament, though. Uncle Howard calls and says he's coming home early, and right before they almost got all the money they need. Oh, so close! And oh, right, Porky's still in this. It wouldn't be a Porky's movie unless you said, oh, right, Porky's in this. The girls have officially decided to work for Pee-wee's cat house. Seems like a bad idea. They're only doing this for a couple of days to raise money. That's even less than a seasonal job. This movie is terrible. And I wrote that note before the bird shit on Pee-wee's head when he tries kissing Vanessa. Even the animals want this guy to die alone. And don't forget about the secrets to be revealed.
Hey, are you ever gonna tell them who your dad is?
You can't hide it forever.
I know, but it's got to be the right time. Tommy will freak.
Oh yeah, they're really the type to give a shit about that. I figured everyone already knew this. The most interesting thing is still the backstory. This movie is so bad that it led to a lawsuit. Mola Entertainment was like, see, we made a Porky's movie. We can still have the rights for a sequel, right? And Lontano was like, this is barely a movie. They cited that the deal was that the movie had to be at least a $10 million budget, and not the 50 cents it took to make this. There was a settlement reached, but this put in limbo Howard Stern's attempts to produce a proper Porky's movie, which never got made. What I'll say about all of these sequels is how technically they can do some things better than the first, like how the second had a bit more of a focused plot. The third didn't have any dramatic subplots, so it was more tonally consistent. And this one reduces its male leads to only 3 instead of the cluttered-ass 20. But at the end of the day, none of that matters when they're all comedies, and the first is easily the funniest out of all of them. They do still chapter it with titles of the other movies, by the way. It's bad when the movie is reminding you of better movies to watch, and that better movie is Porky's Revenge. I still greatly prefer the revenge that he took in the third movie.
You really don't want to do this.
I don't, huh?
Oh my god, that was way more violent than I remembered. Uh-oh, confrontation. Is he gonna force her to marry Tommy like he did with Blossom and Meat? No, are you kidding? We don't have the budget for a riverboat. Instead, they have a nice heart-to-heart on the back porch, and he finally listens to her suggestions.
I'll make the changes. Just do me a favor. Go back to school and shut this circus down.
Reasonable. On the one hand, Porky is humanized quite a bit here. On the other, he really always has been the hero of this whole franchise anyway. Who wouldn't be pissed these idiots keep messing with his business? And I gotta hand it to the movie for making it the whole time without a record scratch sound effect.
Well, my uncle's not due back for another couple of weeks, so, guess we could party? Party? Uncle Howard!
Oh my god, Porky's Pimpin' Pee-wee sucks! Oh, Uncle Howard is back. Guys, I just got back from the greatest convention in the country. These broads love Nick at Night alumni. He doesn't even care that his stuff is broken.
Don't worry about it.
But everything is all broken.
This vacation did wonders for me. These are just things. Things don't matter.
That renders this entire plot completely pointless, just like the movie itself. Pointless! Now they're free to party again and fall in the pool, like a movie that's shot in cover your drinks vision. I'm not even paying attention to these epilogue texts because the freeze frame keeps glitching. It's so forgettable it has to remind you of the movie you've been watching. Oh, okay. You mean it's not Hard Bodies 2? It recommended Hard Bodies 1 when it was done. Like it can see into my room and notices the poster behind me. I've reviewed hundreds of movies on this show, and this is the one that feels like the biggest waste of my time. I hope you enjoyed my run through all of the Porky's films. Be sure to subscribe to us today, and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/TheRealCinemaSnob, and we'll see you next time.
I found that men prefer to buy by the pound.
Hey, those are mine.
Everybody come join the party.